So agency update, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I think the last one was in August. And I wanted to guys give you an update in terms of like what's happening with my company, what I'm doing, the changes that I'm seeing, and how everything's gone over the last really 2 years of running Inbox as an email marketing agency. So as of last month, we hit our record month in terms of revenue. We did $58,701 in revenue and that's in NZ dollars. And I think we had a profit of roughly 25,000, which is fantastic because in the previous 3 months, we also had 48, 51, and 49,000 in revenue with similar levels of profit for each of those months. Now, the biggest thing that has driven my agency from the 25, 26, and if you look back on these videos in August, we did $24,000 in revenue, has been generating leads from Upwork using a software called GigRadar. I've actually made a video about that software in the previous months as well. Highly recommend you check that out. But GigRadar has essentially automated the process of me finding work on Upwork and essentially applies for jobs, writes a proposal using AI based on the job description, and then essentially takes my cover letter and applies for the job with a proposal that fuses those two things together. And I'll be fully honest, it has helped drive my agency from 24K a month in revenue to, as of last month, $58,000 a month in revenue. Now, in terms of what's happening in the business, I have now got 4 full-time staff. So we've gone from 1 full-time project manager that started in November of last year to now 4. We have 1 project manager, 2 full-time designers, and 1 full-time builder. Now that is expensive. It's costing me quite a bit of money, and it's actually shrinking my own earnings and profit from the company. But the way that I see it is I need to invest the money right now to then get the exponential growth in the future. Now, in terms of growth, what's happening with my agency in terms of how am I actually growing the business? The biggest needle mover has 100% been Upwork. Now, outside of that, I was investing very heavily in SEO, and I actually still am, but I'm gonna turn off the investment at the end of this month. The reason I'm doing that is because I just have not seen a great return in terms of traffic. Now, I was paying about $3,000 a month to have articles written every single month, 15 articles specifically, and I had a predefined strategy that I was following that was set rather 6 months ago. So we looked for low competition keywords that were relating to my industry, my niche, email marketing specifically, Klaviyo, so on and so forth. And we then started writing articles ranging from 750 words in length all the way to 1,200 words in length. And honestly, it hasn't really paid off. I think I've spent anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 US on this strategy, and it's kind of been a sunk cost. I have, seen an increase in impressions. We're getting about 700 to 800 impressions every single day. But in terms of clicks, we're probably getting 3 or 4 clicks on the website per day. And none of those clicks are actually turning into inquiries or people reaching out for my services. So in that sense, it has not worked. Now, one of the good things about the SEO though, is that I'm really aggressively growing my newsletter, the newsletter for my business. And you can actually find the link to that newsletter in the description of this video. The reason I'm really aggressive with the growth of my newsletter, and by aggressive, I mean I'm promoting it on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth later in this video, is because the way that I see email marketing moving is, I think as a service, it's largely going to be phased out. I think with the way that AI is moving, copywriting is going to be out of the mix, design is going to be out of the mix, because a lot of the softwares that are coming in are going to be able to replace what we already do as a service. However, the need for an audience and eyeballs, i.e. advertising, is forever going to be there. And the way that I see it is that building up a newsletter and creating my own quasi mini advertising network is going to forever be an avenue that is necessary for other companies to get access to promote their products. So I'm trying to grow my newsletter from where it currently stands of 2,000 subscribers all the way up to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Currently, I make about $400 to $500 a month selling advertising on my newsletter with 2,000 subscribers, and I have not reached out to advertisers at all. The way that I see it, if I can 5x the size of my newsletter, 2,000 to 10,000, I can 5x the revenue, if not more, that the newsletter brings into my business. Meaning that I have my own audience, it's a captive audience, and I can continuously sell advertising. And I don't think that's ever going to go away, because people with AI, you can't get the audience. You can deliver services, but you're forever going to need that audience. And people such as Klaviyo, for example, SendLane, all those businesses are going to want to use my database. Maybe not Klaviyo specifically, but services that support email marketing are going to want access to my database to promote their products. And that's going to put me in a position to really ride out the potential risk of being automated out, and actually focus more specifically on just changing the direction of my business to becoming more of an advertising network. I'm going to see how that works for my personal newsletter. If it works successfully, I'm then going to start creating ads and other campaigns for other newsletters. I want to get into the business of buying and selling newsletters and becoming mini ad networks from within that little industry. So in terms of growing my newsletter, SEO supports that, right? Because even if those customers don't actually inquire for my business, there's a chance they can be converted by my pop-up forms. I actually went ahead and created a new landing page for 70 free email designs. I'm going to start running ads to that soon. So I'm going to take the money that I'm spending on SEO and reallocate that to an ad strategy and start paying for subscribers. On top of that, I'm also pushing LinkedIn very heavily and Twitter very heavily. I push lead magnets out on Twitter pretty much once or twice every single month, and that significantly helps grow my list. And then obviously on YouTube, I've gone very, very aggressive on my YouTube strategy for the inbox account. On YouTube, I am pushing out one long form video every single week and 6 shorts. And then I take those 6 shorts and I repurpose them onto Instagram as well. So I'm really just trying to invest in traffic sources that I don't have to pay for. Obviously I have to pay for the video editing, but also traffic sources that have long tail benefits, right? I put a YouTube video out today, it's gonna get views for years to come. I like the idea of kind of investing really heavily up front and then just hoping that that pays off over, let's say, a 2-year period, right? So I'm going really, really aggressive on that. And also on this channel, I kind of want to do the same, but I don't know. I feel like having an audience on YouTube is gonna pay off some point in the future. So I'm gonna try and keep putting these videos out just in terms of tips and tricks for my agency. So quick recap of what's happening with my agency. We had our highest month in terms of revenue last month, 58,000 NZ dollars. Grown my LinkedIn to about 9,000 followers. Twitter has grown to about almost 5,000 followers. Newsletters at 2,000. My YouTube channel for my agency is at 3,600 subscribers with 3,300 monthly viewers. And the push for me is continuously doing my Upwork lead generation strategy. There's a link to the software that I use, full transparency, it's an affiliate link to the video, or rather to the software in the description down below. Check that out. I'm gonna keep pushing the newsletter growth organically, and I'm gonna start putting ads behind it. And I'm gonna just finish up with the SEO, I think. I'm gonna have one more month of it afterwards. It's gonna cost me like $1,000 just to reevaluate the strategy and see where I need to go from there. And then I'm gonna keep pushing YouTube as well. Overall, guys, thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a long time, but things are going well. I'm gonna try and post more consistently on this channel just to show you guys what's happening, what I'm doing, get your guys' feedback on what I could be doing better, and hopefully share some knowledge that you guys can use for your own agencies going forward. Thanks for watching.